Hi,
Hey.
everybody. Welcome back. So today we have conversation number 5. And so this topic was requested by one of our listeners, Jeff. So today we're going to be talking about, you want me to say it?
Yeah, you
The
say.
black-eyed kids. So if you haven't heard about them, I think we'll explain.
Okay, so basically, they are an American urban legend and they're paranormal creatures who resemble children.
So it's like a phenomenon. They call it
Yeah.
a phenomenon. They don't know what they are,
Yeah.
but they do look human, and
Yeah.
they look,
Like children.
yeah,
And
and they're children.
yeah, they're usually between ages 6 to 16. And like people have claimed that they've been around since the 80s.
So there's been sightings of the black-eyed kids for a long time, and usually, but not only is it's not only like kids. There's been encounters where they've people have seen like adult women or adult men that their eyes um, are black. So they're the black-eyed kids. But we'll explain more on what they are. Um, usually, usually they like to appear to people of authority. So more like
Law
what is it?
enforcement,
Law enforcement,
government employees.
people that work in the government,
Yeah.
people that have some sort of authority in the community or just in general. Um, so the black-eyed kids, they their appearance usually what people describe people that have seen them is that they come in pairs. They can come in, or they can come in alone, or they can be up to 3. Um, so, do you want to talk about what they do?
Yeah, well, there's been reports of them that they usually come into your home or your car, and they, well, I mean, most cases are home, and what they do is they knock.
So what's gonna happen is they'll show up at like mid hours
Yeah,
of the night.
Yeah, it's always late.
It's always really late. So they'll show up and they'll knock at your house. And usually the knock is like a long knock.
Yeah,
like
which is
they
weird.
just keep knocking.
That's creepy.
Yeah. And there hasn't been any encounters where people say they use the doorbell. So
they're not really fond of technology.
I don't think so. They've never seen any of them with technology, no phones, no tablets, nothing. So also like their clothing is like a dated clothing, like from and like antique clothes from
like,
the I don't know,
like vintage
vintage,
clothes,
yeah. So it's not nothing that we would see now, like
contemporary.
People, yeah, they definitely stand out when people see them.
And they're usually pale, right?
Like, they have pale skin. So when you open the door, they'll usually say something like, "Oh, can we come into your house?" Or "I need to use the phone to call my parents." Can I?
They usually need something from you, or they're looking for help, right?
Or looking for help, yeah. And so, but it's weird because like this is like late night hours,
yeah.
And if you see a child coming to your doorstep, you're gonna be like,
oh, yeah, okay. Kids have curfew,
yeah,
and they shouldn't be out.
And like it's weird too because if I was to see a kid knocking, I'll be like, oh my god, I of course come inside my house, I'm gonna help you. But people say that the feeling they get from so the first let's talk about what they look like,
okay,
and then we'll talk about how people feel. So they're pale skin,
and their voice is like monotone, but it's also like it's cold, a cold voice.
It's a cold voice, and so they say that they don't have no it's just like a canvas skin, skin, like it's just white, like pale, and
they also repeat whatever they're saying, right?
So yeah, so they, if you ask them questions, they'll just keep repeating the same. It's almost like they're robotic, like they're just kind of like
they were just meant for that or something.
Yeah, wired to just say certain things. So once you look at their eyes, because usually when they come in, they'll be standing on your door, and then they'll just be looking down, and they'll keep saying, "Oh, I can't come into your house unless you give me permission to." So once they do, like the people say, once they do come inside the house, then and they're already invited in, they come in, then that's when people notice their eyes are black, like completely black, the whole,
like no white
right? Whatsoever. There's no what do you call the one in the middle?
The iris.
There's no iris. It's just all black, like black eyes. And so as soon as people notice that, then they automatically get this like fear, like,
so that's basically their goal, right? To like instill fear.
Yes, they like,
and they kind of feed off of that.
They feed off the fear. But even when they're at the door, like people usually say, people that have encountered these beings, they usually say that they already have like some sort of a fear, like it's like something that they cannot pinpoint, like why am I feeling weird
like
about them?
Instinctual, almost like you kind of have like a gut feeling about it.
Like, and they're like, and
wow.
so people already start to feel it like right when they open the door.
Do you think that they're just like, should I open the door? You know what I mean?
Yeah, they open the door, and then when they do the interaction, when they have the interaction, that's when they start to feel like
their vibes weird.
Yeah, like
that's creepy.
Like this is weird. Like this is creepy. Like it's almost like they have like a little bit of fear, you know. So,
but they haven't been physical with things, right?
No, they're not physical beings. Like they do like to, make you scared, but they're not gonna be
like aggressive.
Yeah, they're not gonna be aggressive. They're not gonna touch you. They're not gonna force themselves into your home or your car. Like they have
to be invited in.
Your permission. That's the key.
That's creepy.
They need you to say yes, come in, or of course you can use my phone. Of course you can come inside my house. That's what they need. They need your permission in order for them to do whatever they gotta do. Whatever they need to do.
And they've noticed that animals are usually sensitive, right? When it comes
animals are sensitive.
Or they become terrified, right? They don't want to get near them.
So what happened? So I mean, just like a quick little short. So a man that encountered these beings, he actually was carrying groceries inside his home, and so he said that when he was carried the first batch, and then he went back and to grab the rest, and he said that as soon as he turned around, then he saw that child standing next to his door. And then so he was like, okay, what are you doing in my house? And so then he just told him, I need to call my parents. Can I use your phone? And so he said he was like, I don't know. Like he just automatically felt that fear. Like there's something wrong, but he didn't know what it was. He said that he had this big, I think it was a big Mastiff dog. Like one of those
huge ones.
Yeah. And he said that he had trained that dog to be a protector and to, take care of the home. So he sees the dog like running down the hallway towards him, and he was aggressive. He was barking. He was like, he knew something was there. He said as soon as he caught eye of the being, he like freaked out and like just ran back. And he said that his dog was never the same again.
That's
like it just terrified that dog to its core. Like he didn't know what it was, how to react to it. And he said that his dog was never the same again. So that just goes to tell you animals have like some sort of...
Yeah, I feel like they have a sense.
An intuition, like they can feel or sense, like a sixth sense almost.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I think they do.
They sense vibes for sure.
People vibes. Yeah, they can tell when somebody does not have good intentions.
Yeah.
So... So what is happening once they come inside your house? So once they're invited inside your house or in your car, what do you think?
Yeah, so like we've said, when they usually come asking for help or needing something, so once you invite them in and once you offer yourself to, I'll help you with whatever you need, the closer you get, the worse the results.
So some of the things that happened is people. So once you have that interaction with the black-eyed kids, they'll come in, they'll be there for a little bit, and then they'll disappear. Like they'll just, you'll go get to the kitchen, get something, come back, they're gone. Um, they say that after the interaction, people will usually either become seriously ill. They can have bad things that begin to happen to them. Bad, like a long course of bad luck.
So almost like cursed.
Yeah, like it's almost like they're there to instill or to, chaos, to create chaos.
And the weird thing is that they have to be inside. You know what I mean? Like they have to come inside.
Yes, and so like she said, like the closer you are, the worse the results. So I guess like the closer you get, like there's been instances where one of them has touched, or a person has touched one of them, and a few months later their relative, their sister died.
Oh,
so so they say they can cause it can go up to like, at worst case scenario, death. But usually it's more of like the bad luck, the falling ill, things like that. So we've heard about them. We've heard a lot of these stories in Coast to Coast?
Yeah, Coast to Coast. That's where I remember.
And then and Dark Waters. Dark Waters has had some.
Yeah, but it's creepy. Like when I would hear them in Coast to Coast, it's creepy because, it's like late at night when you're listening to these stories. And you don't want to encounter none of that when you get home. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't.
it's creepy.
Yeah, it's really weird, and it's scary for sure. So we're going to share some personal stories.
Yeah, okay, so the first one is, it's a personal story. It happened to us. And, just to let you know, you guys should buckle up for this one because we were literally buckled up when this happened to us.
Yeah.
So, okay, it was one night, late at night. It was like about 2, 3 in the morning, right? And we were headed home, right?
Yeah.
We were hanging out at our brother-in-law's house. And then we're like, okay, it's time to go home already. So we're driving back. And
But it was late at night.
Yeah, it was 2, 3 in the morning. So there was no one in the street.
No one in the street.
Yeah,
we were just alone.
No cars on the road. No people. Everything was closed. So we were driving, and we reached this light, and it's there's homes on the sides, and then there's this gas station in the corner. But even the gas station had no one there. It was empty.
It was empty. Everything.
So
was empty.
and in this particular area, there was absolutely no one. So once we were pulling up to that stoplight, I saw a little kid knocking at a house, he was outside, and I thought it was so weird because I'm like, what is this kid doing at 2, 3 in the morning? Why is he outside just knocking on this door? And there's no one. There was no one else out there. So
I was driving, and Eileen just
was in the passenger seat when I saw the kid. And I was like, what is he doing, man? That's so creepy. And then I told her to look at him, and she's like, it's a black-eyed kid. And when she said that, he turned around to look at us.
He looked at us, and I freaked, and I was like, what the heck? I
and
just
you stepped on it?
I was like, forget this light, we're leaving.
But that was so creepy because she whispered it to me. The windows were rolled up, and she whispered it to me, and the little kid turned around.
Okay, so to make it clear, we didn't see his eyes.
Yeah, we didn't. But
he just turned around.
Yeah, he just turned around, but it was weird because he could have turned around as we were pulling up, but he didn't. He waited until she said that. I don't know. I don't know if it was a black-eyed kid or not.
Coincidence? I think not.
I just thought that was really scary, man.
Yeah, it's weird. It was definitely a scary encounter. Yeah. Especially because it was so late. Yeah, it was super late. And why was he out alone? And we were just talking about stories like that, Yeah. So it just made it all that scarier. Mm-hmm. So the next story that we have is one that I've heard before. And this one is about a guy that met a girl. He went out on a date with her for, I think, 2 dates, something like that. He thought she was very attractive. She seemed like she was like she had money, like she would dress
okay.
nice, you know, and she was, so she, after I guess a night, like a few dates, he decided to tell her, hey, let's go to a club, hang out, and she was like, sure. So they ended up going to a nightclub, and he said that, you know, they were having a good time drinking, dancing, you know, and so he said that he started to kind of get close to her and, you know, start to kind of touch, kiss her, things like that. So then they ended up going to the bathroom. He's like, hey, let's go to the bathroom and mess around, you know? So he said that they were in the stall, and that all of a sudden, like, you know, she jumps on him and he's like, oh, okay, this is cool. You know, he liked it. And so he said that when he like looked at her, because he kind of like went back to look at her face, he saw her face and he said her eyes were like normal, and then all of a sudden they go black, right? Like completely black. And he said he grabbed her and like threw her. And she was just like, what are you doing? You know, like, why? No. What's wrong with you? And then her eyes were like black. Like they didn't go back to normal. So he said he freaked out and he was like, forget this, I'm out. He left, and he said that never again, like, did he, and because she called him. He said he wouldn't call her, but he said that she called him about like 2 times. Yeah. And then he was like, nope, I'm not going to answer that. I don't know what the heck that was. That was weird. And she just eventually stopped calling him. But he said that it was really scary. That he just felt fear as soon as he saw her eyes. He was just like, oh my God, this cannot be normal.
That's creepy, man.
Like, yeah. So that's one with an adult. That usually adults are more rare to see with black eyes than younger kids. Yeah. But there is definitely people that have seen him and have experienced that. So another one with an adult, I think it was women. I think it was about 3 or 4 women that I think it was a mom and 2 daughters, and I think an aunt. And so I think that they were hanging out at their house, and they decided, hey, you know, we live by the beach. Let's go to the beach at night, you know, just to hang out. And so they ended up, you know, taking off. They go to the beach and they're just there hanging out, you know, having fun, like drinking, you know. And so they said that they saw somebody approaching them. And so I think it's one of those beaches where you can park your car. Oh, okay. So you're just, you get off and you just hang out. And so he said that the woman said that she saw somebody approaching, and then as he got closer, they noticed it was a man. And so the man was kind of like, you know, I guess he was like with his like beach shorts. Yeah. And so she said that as soon as like he got closer to them, he started talking to him and he was very attractive. They said he was attractive. He was muscular. He was like nicely built, you know? And she said that as soon as like he got closer, he started talking to them, and you know, they were kind of like, oh yeah, you know, you want something to drink? Yeah. And she said that when they got closer to him, his eyes then turned, they noticed his eyes that were black, like completely black. So they all freaked out. They jumped in their car and they left.
That's creepy. Yeah. And was this like at night?
Yeah, it was at night.
That's creepy, dude.
So it's weird because you would think like, hey, I can see the white of your eyes at night. Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can.
Yeah.
That's creepy, dude.
No, so they took off and they were like, what, you know, what happened? Like,
but you know what's weird? Like with these adult cases, that they tend to be on the attractive side.
Yeah,
so I feel like they kind of lure you in with that.
It's like a lure. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And so, I don't remember. I don't know if they got into a car accident after that. They were all okay, nothing major, but I think they got into like an accident. Yeah, right after they left. Like, it was weird. So yeah, and then so there's another story. So this one is about a child. So he was in the car. His mom said, oh, stay in the car. I'm going to go to the store really quick and get some groceries. I'll be right back. And so he stayed in the car. And then he said that he turned, I don't know if he was playing on his video or something. So he turned around and he said he saw a little boy on the window, on the window of the car. And the little boy was like, "Oh, hey, can I come in?" And so he said, "Yeah, sure, come in." So he opened the door, and then the BEK, the black-eyed kid, then comes in. I guess the little boy didn't notice his eyes until later. Like,
okay.
Yeah, well, because he was just there and he was just with his head down. So
Yeah. Like
so he gets in the car, and then the mom comes out of the store, and then she sits in her driver's seat. And then so she then I guess it's like you're an autopilot. You just get on, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
So she got on, and then she said that she kind of looked up to make sure her kid was good, everything was fine. And I think the boy was 12.
Oh, he was like a little bit
10, 12, yeah. So I guess she looks in the rearview mirror, and she sees the other boy sitting in the side. And she said that his eyes were like, she saw that his eyes were like super black. Like,
what the heck?
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
And so she gets out of the car, opens the other door, and yanks the kid out. And she's like, "What the heck is that? Like, what are you doing?" And then he just like left. He got out of the car and left, disappeared, right? So
But like, what would you do though? Like, as a parent?
I mean, you call the police.
Like, that is
I
just
think she
so
called
creepy.
I think she did call the police. I don't know, but I think she did, and they looked for the boy, and they said they couldn't find him anywhere.
Wow.
So they went home, and then again, like a few weeks later, the boy that let him in fell sick. So he was sick for a long time. She said that they couldn't find what he had. So new symptoms kept coming up every time the doctors would think they pinpointed what it was. New symptoms would come up, so they could never really figure out what was going on with him. Eventually, they just his symptoms, he got better, so he was fine. But she just said that after that encounter, it was really weird how he was just sick and not getting better, and doctors couldn't find anything. So
do you feel like, when they come in, like whoever invites them in, it like directly affects them?
Yeah, I think so.
That's
I think whoever witnesses, whoever's there, and if they have a close encounter with you, like if they touch you, then usually you or somebody in your family is the one that, because they're there for you.
Yeah.
That's your home. So I feel like I don't know how it's just really weird how they choose.
Find people. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I don't know.
That's creepy, man. That's creepy.
Yeah. I don't know. Thank you. I don't want to see none of that.
Yeah, no.
I think with that encounter we had, it was enough.
Yeah, that was enough. Like, we didn't want to know anymore.
All right. So what do you think it might be?
I think that if it's not an alien, it's some other entity.
But if you think it's an alien, how? Like, why? Why would
okay, because I don't think it's human, obviously. Because, I don't know, like, I just don't feel like it's human because, like, I mean, look at the kind of stuff it does. And it has black eyes. I don't think that's human. So.
Yeah, well, I don't know, because I think that if it was aliens, they would be able to, like, read your mind and...
Yeah, but an alien, how do you know that, like
it's not a type of alien?
No, how do you know it didn't, how do you know it doesn't know how to shapeshift into, like, something that a human recognizes, so that it could come in?
Like a skinwalker?
Yeah, so that it could come into your home and stuff like that.
That's weird. For me, I feel like it could be a demonic entity. Like, they can be demonic because I feel like they look human, but they're not human, but they do instill fear, and they make people, they do bad things.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they're doing good. And bad things happen when you encounter them. So I think it can be more demonic. And then, like, I told Eileen not that long ago when we were talking about it, I was telling her, what if they're Because in the Bible, I think it's in the Apocalypse. In the Bible, the last
the
book
Book of Revelations.
the Book of Revelation. Why did I say Apocalypse?
Because that's Spanish.
Oh, Apocalypse in Spanish. But the Book of Revelations, they talk about in the end of days, there's going to be people or coming to your house and knocking at your door, pretending to be human, pretending to be somebody you know. And they will knock at your door, and it's kind of like a temptation thing, you know? You like, oh, that's my family. I need to open it.
I mean, in the end, you are making that choice to say whether you're letting them in or not, right?
Yeah. And so in the Bible, it doesn't say, oh, this is what's going to happen. They're going to knock at your door, pretend. They're going to have the voice of a human, of a person that you know. And they're going to look like humans.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking, well, what if that's what they are? You know, they're just demons. Because in the Bible, it says they're demons. They're pretending to be somebody you know. So,
I mean, that's weird. That's a possibility.
And then you let them in, and then you're doomed.
Yeah, because if you think about like the way that their vibe is, the way they're making you feel, what they do, they seem pretty cursed, you know? Like they just bring like bad upon you.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that could be like a thing of like good and evil. You know? And like maybe it is that because I mean we don't know what aliens are like. You know?
Yeah. We don't know what they're capable of.
Yeah, like what if they're good or evil, like we don't know. You know?
Yeah, because there can be like different types of aliens.
Yeah.
I think. Like different civilizations. Not just one kind. Not all of them are gonna be big-eyed.
Yeah.
You know, like with their little green bodies.
I know, I just picture that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. Do you have any other thoughts?
I'm like, I think it's what you're saying, man. I'm leaning towards what you're saying because like that sounds more reasonable.
Or ghosts? What about ghosts?
Oh yeah, it could be a ghost too, right?
But more than one people see them though.
But you know what's weird? That they disappear, man. That's weird.
Yeah, they do disappear. Because if there were ghosts, like would only one person see them?
I don't know. I feel like ghosts wouldn't have like that ability though. To like talk.
Well, they have the ability to instill fear.
Yeah, but like you're gonna have like a conversation with a ghost. I don't know. I don't know, man. Like I don't know.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Yeah, I think it's more like shapeshifter thing. You know?
Yeah, it
like
could be
something evil that can shapeshift.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, hopefully this happens to no one.
For sure. If somebody knocks on your door
don't open
late at night and it's a long
and it
knock,
looks like a little kid,
don't let them in.
And if they got vintage clothes on, don't open it.
Yeah. No. If you guys have had any encounters, we'd like to know about them. If you have questions about them.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hard to find
information.
Yeah. It was hard to find information because it's such a, I feel like there's not a lot of clusters.
Yeah.
Like not a lot of.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's because like it's considered a legend.
Yeah.
Or like what, but yeah.
But they have said that the cases have incremented during the past years. So there's been more sightings, but
yeah.
I still feel kind of like there's not as much information out there as there is for other things.
Yeah.
So we tried our best.
Yeah, we did.
So if you guys have any questions, please comment below. Any suggestions on any other videos? I mean, we do have a list going on.
Yeah.
But
we'll take suggestions.
Yes. We'll take suggestions as priority.
Yeah.
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 Okay. So, please like our video and subscribe.
And thank you for watching.
And thank you for watching. And
see you next time.
See you later on the next episode or conversation.
Yeah, the next conversation.
Bye.
Bye.